morning it was transparent, and in the evening it became so it's sort of hidden, or was hidden already by the institution. And we had to fight with the director of the museum because we put up a text telling the whole story and saying that this thing, but they didn't actually know what it was kind of a controversy in the institution. He said, oh no, it's not. We have no controversy in this institution. The biggest problem is that nobody could actually talk to him about anything. You had to, even though it was a staff of 17, you had to make an appointment with his secretary to talk to him. We just slipped notes in his door. So anyway, so that was when we, I think, started really getting involved in institutions and trying to mess with institutions that we felt were sort of messing with us. So all that came together, I think, in my job, which is called Governor's Gate. Just let me watch the film. Oh, that's not me. Somebody else did that. That's great. This is not mine. Somebody has taken it over. Unless it's somebody else's music. This is for the I think. Okay. I was like, oh, cool. So I don't know. Somebody's now hacked my video, but they haven't. So this is the thing that's going up in Times Square right now, and it's don't tell my boss it's an anti-institution museum. God. Sorry. No, you got it. I'll get you it. Okay.
Could help us create the most advanced and exciting miniature world in the largest, most intricate, most technologically advanced pictures made anywhere.
Jonathan Swift created Gulliver's Travels as a view on the 18th century. It was a mirror of the societies he lived in, and we want to be able to do the same thing with the 21st century. That's why we chose the name Gulliver's Gate. Because you can enter this world, interact with it, and be a part of it, and represent the entire world.
The Gulliver's Gate would be more involving and more interactive than any type of miniature model in the world. One of the key things is to be able to transport ourselves and the people that come over to another time and another place within the model.
We're going to have cars, planes, trains, and boats, and ships, and balloons.
And it's a love letter.
It's a love letter, exactly.
We love our tourists. We love people coming from across the country. This is our love letter back.
We want people to be able to walk in and see a wonderful miniature world of somebody's imagination. And there's a fantastic one that is succeeding, and it's in Germany. It's in Hamburg, Germany, Miniature Wonderland. I guarantee that if a family walks in, they're going to have a great day. They will be amazed. They will share a special experience. And I can't wait to bring my kids there.
Our team has the capability, knowledge, and the experience to really make this project happen.
I was the founder and first CEO of Mini Israel, which is a 14-acre outdoor miniature park that highlights all of Israel's treasures. We have begun this journey. Concept design to actual design and implementation for the venue right here in the center. I'm Iran Ghazi, CEO of Gulliver's Gate. Thank you so much.
Joran was my client, the ad agency, who came to us and said that he had this idea, he wanted to do this thing, how do we get it off the ground? He wanted to call it Micro World, I think, at the time. And, he had financial interest, but it was lacking in legitimacy, and it was lacking in like a compelling story. And so I worked with him, within my agency, to basically do a Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter was, because the amount of money involved in this Kickstarter couldn't really touch it, but what it could do was it could make it real to people. So we made this video, or at least an earlier version of the video, and started to go on like this development cycle. And the Kickstarter was an enormous failure in terms of money. It basically didn't really get us any money at all, but it did get us a Wall Street Journal article, a Cranes article, and our number one investor basically to say, I will pay for this start to finish, or you can bring in other money, but you have my backing, which is pretty great. So the Kickstarter.
I'm just giving them the very skeptical discussion about Kickstarter. This is an unusual story.
Use it for what it can be, not necessarily what it is. If you're not selling a product and you don't have a celebrity involved, you better figure out what it is that you want to get from it, because it's not going to be. You have to earn the money that you get on Kickstarter. They don't give you money. You get advanced sales of your product, or you get people basically being fans. And other than that, I haven't seen it work, and I've been to meet a lot of projects where things have been very successful. They said the same thing. It's like, this is money you earn, there are easier ways to earn money than Kickstarter. It was hugely successful for us, I think. I got in a big fight with the Iraq people to get $150,000. I never get $150,000. It failed, I think, 1 week before the close of the Kickstarter. The Kickstarter approached us and told us to pull it, drop the dollar amount to $30,000, and they would put it on the front page, they would promote it, they would favorite it, they would do all this, and we would basically put them on, because they don't want to have a fail. So we ended up with a successful Kickstarter. We raised no money, and we got everything.
Oh, press and everything.
So it was a big success.
The
But not,
publishing platform.
it's a promotional platform. It's a legitimizing
Time-based.
promo platform that PR Newswire, for example, no longer is. PR Newswire, you could send anything out on Newswire, but the volume of stuff that goes out is just unbelievable. So a lot of times we argue against these. Anyway, so now we're funded. We have rented 49,000 square feet in Times Square on a 15-year lease. Costs $16,000 a day. We have 1 year to build it out and then get open. So there's a lot of pressure. It has to be an extremely successful business. I think, and I think he'll dispute me because I haven't calculated it, this is where business people always trump you. They will teach you to figure it out. I believe it has to be the most successful business for the public, admission paying public per square foot in the city.
More than an Apple store.
That is a retail outlet, but we
See.
will have a big retail outlet. Nobody pays to get into the Apple store, we pay to get out of it.
Yeah.
So we have to be very successful. I have a lot of thoughts about how we can bring in other revenue, all of which to me feed into the ultimate concept, which is to make people to make people see the rest of the world, to see our own world differently, and ultimately everything comes down to the Gaia concept, which is the Gaia principle, which is that the world is one organism, and we are a part of it, and we have to function differently in order to make this organism function for our own survival. So that's the ultimate takeaway.
Really didn't realize how well it fit in at this point of our class, because there's xCLASS, which is really about exploring creative agency, social and environmental change, and each of the students has chosen a small green space.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at the history and future of the common green spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And the collective project we're doing is the LaGuardia Place in Bleecker rebuild that MOU is doing.
Yeah.
And so in fact we're building a miniature world right now, and we're just being of community to create a place which is very much like Gulliver's Gate and Gulliver's Travels, possibilities. Imagine not so much memories, but possibilities.
Yeah.
Because legitimately participating in social and environmental change in our shared urban infrastructure, which everyone knows needs to change to improve human environmental health. Yet the institutional processes that are locked down that mean that even as NYU students and NYU faculty in an NYU development project, how do we participate? It's a kind of question that we have. Is there a way to create to create mutualistic systems, and particularly drive much more delightful and wondrous shared green spaces, particularly their critical capacities and infrastructure. So in some sense, it's a very similar design problem that you see when we come to Unity that we're just designing this now, which I think explores many of the same things that we're doing, because the one issue for creating a collective public space in Gallagher's Gate that we were just talking about is that it acts as kind of memory palace because it's spatialized, but not as an individual memory technique for people to individually, be able to recall something, which is, the large, wonderful tradition that recognizes how spatial we are. But what does it mean to make a shared memory palace?
Well, what we're doing is we're decentralizing all of that. We're not building it here. We're building it all over the world. So every region will be representing themselves. So, for example, right after this, I go and meet the guy from Italy who's building Europe and Britain. My CEO just got back from China, where they will be building Asia, international mix of places and things. Argentina is already underway, with representing Latin America. Israel is doing the Middle East, and all of the problems that then arise from that of like one place, one dominant culture, or one politically active, and it's just a single member of that culture that culture. But all of it brings up all the questions that come along. So I think that one of the other things that we're going to be doing is I'm just about to get started on a viral campaign, which is an open call for citizenship. Anybody can send in themselves at 1 to 87 scale, which is our scale, and they can become a citizen anywhere in the world that they want. We want to have to say that this world belongs to you. We are not, none of this is, the public doesn't know from anything that we're publishing right now, but basically we're going to fictionalize every place. We won't have the names be the same as they are in reality. So for example, we may call Manhattan Manhattan to talk about it as a landform as opposed to as a current city metropolitan area. So we're doing a lot of things to kind of undercut a sense of ownership while embellishing a sense of belonging. And I think that's really, really important to what we want to do, is because we want people to feel like they do recognize it, but it's not the same. And maybe the question is, is it a place that's sort of more like what we want things to be, or is it a place that makes us more aware of all the things that are invisible in the real world that we can actually see on a small scale? So when you do something like this, it gives you the chance, because when you walk into a big public green space, it's like I'm here and there's something over there, and I go over and see it, and then I'm imposing my narrative on you by walking you over there and telling you what it is and telling you what I'm doing. By handing this model, you can look at it yourself, you suddenly have a different perspective. You have the godly perspective, and that's maybe why kids like little toys and things. That's natural. Well, we're doing a lot with religion. Interestingly, we're going to have Mecca right next to Jerusalem, so we can get all the big religions, I call them deities and deserts, with the pharaohs right next to it. All of time will be compressed in as well, so we'll have all of human time, so the pharaoh will actually be buried in real time at the same time as contemporary Roman was going on the same model. So we're going to mush it all together. Wow.
So I have a proposition for you, which is an interesting test of what you can do with this space. I was invited to be the artist in residence in the DPC, Department of Design and Construction.
Department of Design and Construction. Okay. New York City.
New York City. All the well, it's been very interesting, I have to say, because the commissioner decided he doesn't want it.
Good. Can I get you out?
The designers, the whole design team spent 6 months working on trying to prime him for this. But this was why it was the very thing about who imagines public space. Right. As a commissioner, he was the former dean of engineering at Columbia. So I know him academically, and you know, as a commissioner, his job is to build stuff, right? That has gone through due process. Much of that stuff, for instance, is the rebuild by design. So this is where we have a little bit of an argument. Rebuild by design.
No.
Yes.
You met twice with me, actually.
We did. Yeah. Right. So the due process to go over this, and I think we've spoken about a little bit, but just to give you my take on this process, which I don't know if you met in your Evans. No, the guy from the Netherlands who. Yes. Henk Ovik.
No.
Henk Ovik, yes.
Certainly know of him.
So he was someone who the Dutch government decided, here's a big opportunity. Let's recolonize Manhattan, New Amsterdam. Let's make it New Amsterdam, right? New Amsterdam. Because, they've got this problem that the whole world has of the unshore line. They've got Super Sandy. They've got, and so they sent over, he's paid by the Dutch government.
Excellent.
To come here.
To be the most influential person.
To be the most influential design.
Civic policy.
And you know who all the Dutch engineering firms are getting big contracts with through? This was absolutely economic development for taking Dutch core competency, nominally their expertise in water management, which is characterized by extraordinary, obscene, hard infrastructure, dated, 100-year-old technology, huge corporations that are doing the largest waterfront seagates, etc. They have this nice due process where they have the public housing, public money pays for the rebuild by design competition. Like that. 10 groups of architects all get together, and each of the architects, like your who so-called won the competition, assembles a team of corporate engineers and corporate people, to large people with that have had these public contracts before, i.e. not people who have any academic credibility in innovating or experimenting with new techniques. These are people who are well known in the public sector for big public projects of old school variety. So, so they had this big competition, and they trump all these people around. I don't know if you visited, but they go and they consult with the communities and.
Yeah.
Yes. And smiling community said, "Oh, wouldn't it be nice if you were here? Hi." And this whole complete clowning participatory process. Oh, there's no people that live here, right? And then they give each of these teams, and they each had a budget of $1 million to assemble them. I call them $1 million Photoshops. Right? Not a single. That's just for professional fees to produce proposals of top-down, not a single experiment, not a single academic research project. $10,000 if you try to build one muscle. You can realize that if you build one place 16 feet over, 100 feet over, they will thrive, they will perform and develop a energy-absorbing mega metropolis, whereas 20 feet down. What do we get? Who wins? Joachim Wills, who's a fat boy, whose entire there's not a single piece of his work that has been in any way engaged with scientific consensus or experimental engineering in any way. These are kind of jokesy kind of, we're going to turn disguise big infrastructure and make it into a space work. Or we're going to make it, So very popular and incredibly innate student. And so now we have a huge, huge gate, basically 1910 technology, decorated with a little bit of texture just to pretend that they're making it biodiverse. And it's just exactly a big sea gate, a big wall, sea wall, that has there's no engineering analysis. There's not even the pretense of engineering analysis that this can withstand or will withstand, or in any way. Is it affordable? Is it maintainable? Is it extensible? Can it actually be adapted to more or less extreme conditions? Does it have any real productive water quality improvements? Does it do anything? And who's at risk for this process? Who has the basements in Red Hook? That
You should see the plan we got. I'd rather have the architects than what we got.
I don't know. I think that this is a process that is a wonderful example of due process, the complete misrepresentation of what public participation actually is or could be. And I think that's an interesting opportunity. And of course, when I showed the commissioner who gets handed this project, like this yours, and he has to build it, right? Commissioner of the DVC has to build it. And I come in and I say, the last 100 years of engineering, there's a whole lot of paradigm shifts that are radically more appropriate. And that seawalls don't work, aren't affordable, no one can build them, they're insane. There's no any way that anyone can say putting concrete in and increasing rigidity these incredibly expensive structures. Exactly. And so I showed him, we can do this 10,000 times less expensively, 100 to 1,000 times more strength, little helical anchors, we improve water quality, we generate clean energy. These are big paradigm shifts that none of the big corporate engineering guys know about or have ever experimented with, because the engineering profession, who have these big public contracts, the big corporate engineering firms, what do they have to do? They have to sign off on how something performs and how to implement it. Their core competency is delivering. They specifically have no professional incentive to innovate. They don't have time. Who are they going to bill that to, right? To try and do things, let alone a paradigm shift. They don't have the education or experience. They don't have any methodology. They don't have any incentive. They have reverse incentive because they're going to be able to say, this will perform like this did in the 1910 floods in Amsterdam, and we can use our flood prediction directly from that, because that's all they've got. And so we have the worst process that is in no way accountable to contemporary scientific evidence. And in no way does it deliver any human or environmental health benefits that are demonstrated or even speculated, because they're not even accountable to that. Right? They're accountable to building it on this egregiously large budget. Our mayor, who is interested in big concrete boardwalks.
Really is.
Not his interest, he's interested. And you've seen the boardwalks that we talked about that are made of polycarbonate chainmail.
Recycled plastic.
And it's not inexpensive. In this case, this is what we built. Small scale demonstrations to so I'll pull this up. But while we're doing that, I just wanted to say that the developers gave. You could set up those experiments. You could set up many things, and we could have what these guys actually have had to do in my new public participation places, have people bet on outcomes. We could experiment with it. So, okay, here's a little model of a storm surge, and here are 4 different pylon and boardwalk structures. Let's run it in a small scale model. And you can place a bet on whether or not this one's going to work, this one's going to work, or this one's going to work. And so, even though you don't know, it's fun, but that's $1 bet. And would hold this poor commissioner who's like there saying, look, I just got to build this stuff. I don't want anything you ideas. I'm sorry. I just wanted an artist to come in and decorate. And, do some public communication for us. I didn't want someone like you to come in and say that we had to change all the paradigms, for God's sake. But because the public doesn't know what to ask for. Because they are not ocean coastal engineers. They're not immersed in.
And they know exactly what to ask for.
Well,
they don't want this to happen.
Yeah, but they
know what we want. We know exactly what we want.
So I think public participation processes that say, here are some things that we think might work, and people are really good at recognizing, oh, I think I like that. Then if we have that, then I can, throw buckthorn underneath it. So I'll just show you a couple of examples. It's a delicious sea vegetable. I've got a. So in Cuba, we're building.
They can't get rid of you, can they?
I don't know. They certainly have. This is the mini boardwalk. This is not a boardwalk, and it's based on this polycarbonate chain. That critical part of it is that you guys have 100% of the solar throughput. So all of that delicate dune grasses that actually stabilize the beaches, that actually build beaches, that build that form, actually are not trampled and killed and desertified and become, but they actually grow and work. And to set up small scale models where people can ride a bike over it, jump on it, figure out, see the little buckthorn growing underneath and the skipper moths growing underneath that. It's a chain mail that was made for
very old school.
yes for
So it means we haven't gone far enough back with the engineering. And I'm not joking when I say that.
It was exactly
Because the engineering is trapped in the industrial era.
Exactly.
And the industrial era was a terrible failed experiment at how to screw up our Earth as much as
and we can
possible.
learn from it.
Before we learned how to combust fossil fuels, we actually knew how to be in the world, except for disease.
There's a whole lot of things
besides
that we can learn from. So this thing, Lord of the Rings. This would make Lord of the Rings. You see Lord of the Rings? Chain mail and that.
Like a lot of animals being thrown around and stuff.
So what happens in the next storm surge? No big rigid, boardwalk that slams into buildings and kills people, but goes straight through, right? And reinforces the, so great opportunities, I think, to really use it as a public interface to engage in a material way, the complexity, the irreducible complexity of these real urban systems, right, with many competing voices, and a lot of.
The big challenge, though, is to make it fun.
Exactly. See, this is what I think taking
publicly, commercially viable and acceptable, and yet to have complex issues explained in a simple way without losing any complexity or having anyone feel burdened or intimidated.
Right. And I think this is the great thing about physical spaces, and I don't think that virtual spaces do it, but I do think an actual physical space
yes,
does.
That's what a model is for.
Yeah, and that's what these models were for. People can say, they can experience it. It's not a white paper that's going to give them the floodplains, and it's just like, this around all day. I can't move my heels. I can't put my stroller, I can jog. You know, so it's a kind of a nuanced way in which people can touch and poke and project themselves into it, which works so much better in a physical space to facilitate public sense.
But you could weave pathways into your chain that could be written on.
Oh yeah, no, these are actually, you could make them with stilettos, but I'm not really interested in making.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yes, you
Now,
could.
you have to have a yes and.
Yes,
That's the
that's right,
problem that
we
I'm
can
trying
have
to
the
come to.
stiletto catwalk.
Absolutely, do the stiletto
Right,
catwalk. That's
we
what
can
it
line
takes
up
to
with-
get the thing up there, then put the stiletto catwalk on.
Yeah. People who have to parade on the beach front with their stilettos.
And let them with their photos.
Yes, exactly. So this is great. You guys, I'll send around a preliminary thing for the, what's the day of the 15th? To get that proposal in. Keep going.
April 15th.
April 15th is a Wednesday,
I don't know.
so we've got a week and a half. Days or 10 days. So we've got a class to finalize that. No, the thing for 3D printing.
Friday.
Thing, that's due on Friday, which will be, we'll all send you around, there will be some stuff that we talked about, that would be, if you guys can focus on taking your scenarios and figuring out how to put them into Unity, you've got them all on the Dropbox.
I'm going to do it now. With your, I need your name, but I think.
I think if you make it, we could try and put it all on one copy, but I think make your own copy and just try.
Yes, it's better.
Just make your own copy, try putting your point of view in, try putting whatever you want to project, people as word bubbles. I mean, I think this has been a great example of, anyway, see you next week. Thank you so much. Couldn't have better time.
These things all happen for us. It's an organism. We have to give ourselves up to.
So it's because Visual by Design is, it's a full-scale version of what you're trying to do in sans any of the, it's not true, what's name made one little educational model, which, what's name? Skate, Kate or, Kate or she made all other little sandy beach that one thing. It wasn't. I've been talking
But there was an
about.
oyster bank thing that's going on.
Yeah, and that's actually the thing that really bugs me because the oysters have failed over and over and over, and all the oyster farming methods aren't working. And all the Photoshops had lots of little oyster farms in them as if
Right.
it's a solved problem.
Right.
And in fact, it's not. Unless they have to use muscles to build up the base, to build up, So I'm on the muscle team.
Are you?
I've
Do you
been-
know Philip? What's Philip's name?
He's an artist who's worked with bivalves.
Phil Ross?
You should know him. Yeah, Phil Ross, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did muscles. He did a lot of fungus. He did.
Yeah.
He did muscles.
Oysters. He did it in San Francisco. He had a whole sculpture.
Yes, that's right. He did. He did.
What's his name?
Yes. Phil Ross. Phil Ross. I have his brick at home.
Ah,
And
yeah.
Phil Ross. Yeah.
Right.
that's the guy who made stuff.
It's like not
The
the
brick?
official answer.
No, David Benjamin.
Ah, I always thought he was somebody who just went in to get like really
He's
We still
teaching
have
somewhere.
something else after that.
He is teaching at. He's got a startup.
Right.
It hasn't been well funded. He's a built. He's
Bye.
an architecture
Yeah,
startup.
yeah.
Has got a really nice video on it. Beautifully artful. But
But he should go back to those.
yeah, I mean, it's interesting. He and I have known each other for 20
Yeah.
something years,
I haven't seen it.
and
That period of
he's trying to. And in fact, I wrote his tenure letter, and then he didn't get tenure, and then he bought it and then got it. I thought it was the best thing that he didn't get done. Because it would have made him focus just on these non-academia, on building the microtecture, which is a fantastic company.
Yeah.
You know, and it should be built.
Right.
And he is doing it,
Right.
but he should have gotten tenure. I wrote the strongest letter I could have ever written, and then defended again but you know, and in fact, the new book that I've got coming out is on how it is that artists are not material scientists and not chemical engineers and not 3M and not places with their small-scale material experiments, experimentally driven, hands-on practice. Phil is one of the examples. That's where all the material innovation is coming from.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, I'm taking it to my chemical engineering colleagues and showing them thing after thing after thing after thing. Didn't come from material science.
Right.
It doesn't come from formal processes. It
Right.
comes from this messy, public,
Underfunded, non-funded.
non-funded, wondrous engagement.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's the star of that book. Actually, a lot of
Yeah.
other examples. Yeah, and this idea that, well, how do you institutionalize that? So, in fact,
Anti-institutionalized. That's the.
well, no,
that's the
I'm
difference. No, because anti-institution is eventually swallowed by the institution, incorporated into the institution. But you can start it as an anti-institution. That's my dissertation. Part of my
I see.
dissertation.
Yeah.
Historical model, again and again and again. That's what happens.
well, yes, exactly. So,
It
environmental
then
health planning
becomes-
is a critique of
Right.
conventional health and how we've medicalized health as opposed to
Sure, but
personalized
then
health.
again, the whole movement in the healthy communities and so on is adapting to a certain degree of it. And the health insurance funding, were basically, and I have this beautifully explained because I was working on a whole telehealth, distance medicine thing. And basically, it's like it used to be that you had a basket on the front desk of the hospital. Everybody who came in had to put money into the basket, right? And then you get to go in and get your health care. Now there's a basket on the front desk, and everybody who comes in takes money out of the basket. So you want to keep the people out of the hospital by keeping them healthy. And that is the philosophy that is, you know, in its very long convoluted, you know, my
Yes, I
whole
know.
family's in the medical industry. I
Yeah,
know
so is
exactly.
mine, yeah,
But-
and it's not. And
Well,
there
it's
isn't
not,
any
but
funding in it.
it
There
isn't,
any
but it
venture
is in
funding.
a way, more than it was before, certainly.
Well,
More than it was before.
there's not a single medical school. There's one medical school that has community health.
Right.
As
There's
a
one business school that has social impact.
Yes, I know.
But 10 years ago, there wasn't one.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, I think yeah,
I can
I-
only be
but the kind of-
optimistic.
the
about
anti-institution, the reason
it, except for to be
of
optimistic.
I just had this, the pharmacy urban agriculture stuff. I don't know if you remember this. That's not about being anti. Nowhere does it call it an anti-institution.
Right.
Nowhere is it anti-conventional agriculture.
I still have two dialogues going on, which isn't good. Myself, when I don't talk about anti-institutions at work, they
Right.
don't even know what I was.
Right. So I really do think. This is one of the things that we've been talking about in the class a great deal. I know that in the last 10 years that simply working on developing alternative institutions, ooze backwards in our cages, the environmental health clinic,
Yeah.
pharmacy, all of the ones I've done, Cross Species Adventure Club.
Yep.
There's a new one on ex-tourism.
Mhm.
Anyway, all of these things. What's happened to me, NEA's funded the Boulder Environmental Health Clinic. We've got lots of good projects going in this kind of placemaking world, but they're all seen as little exceptions,
Cute
right?
little thing.
Cute little sweet little things that and business as usual is going on at LaGuardia Place,
Yep.
doing this most insultingly stupid, banal landscape design, and celebrating it as if it's something wonderful. Where again, it's not at all accountable to science or to public health in any way, right? And when you go to the public health department, yes, they have huge initiatives, huge amounts of public money, and every single thing is completely without any creative, innovative, like putting the stairs at the front, right? We great revolution to design hospitals where there's the stairwell that people can actually use it.
Mhm.
It's not innovative, right? That's like, it's, you know, it's insulting that this area of placemaking is not about, you know, really forefronting creative imaginary. And the struggle with the DDC, right, where they have to get it built.
And
And
it's not going anywhere. I know.
and they've got these public agencies, and they're kind of, we're just not interested in interesting new ideas. We don't care about the money. We don't care about the, you know, we're not accountable to human and environmental health or safety. We are accountable to getting this done in the way we know how to do it.
Right. But my suggestion would be, I know that you would have to really go in sort of as much patience as you could possibly muster would be to meet with Derek.
Yeah,
You know
but
why?
he's an idiot. I mean, like, he's a complete idiot.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's got absolutely no interest in science. I mean, Hank
And you know
Ovink,
what? Does he have to? Does he have to?
yeah,
No, he doesn't.
he needs to
No,
be
he
accountable.
He can build things that nobody else can build. He can get things built that nobody else can get built.
Which is just a testimony to how stupid frat boys manipulate the architecture world.
And you're not going to change that. So why not keep him interested and excited about doing what you're doing as part of what he's doing? Because I think this has to be the yes and thing, because he is going to get to build what he wants to build more and more and more and more. Because wow, does that sell well to the public? It sells like crazy. He's a marketer more than anything else. He's an amazing marketer. Amazing marketer. His brand is monumental and growing. If he doesn't die by the time he's 44, think of what he's going to be able to build. I shared one of his exactly. So, but the thing is, but you can't stand against it. You have to, you know, go with it like a natural thing.
Yes, you do.
It's too much of a, there's too much momentum there, and you need everything. And I'm sorry, but what he's doing is better than other things.
Decorator. It's decorator. I think, you know, right, it's marketed. It's not better. There's no way to assess if it's better. There's absolutely no way to, you know,
I think it has greater potential than a lot of other things that are also being put forward that are being taken in the same consideration.
It's fiction.
Some of this fiction is actually really happening. And some of it does have some
But
good
when it
considerations
comes-
in it. I know it's
No,
not,
it doesn't.
it doesn't stand up to your standard, but your standard is extraordinarily hard to meet.
You know, I just, you know, I read science, right?
Yeah.
And I care about science, and he's not in any way accountable to.
No.
And the engineering firms, I mean, those engineers he's got working for him are,
Yeah.
they fail my classes, right? Because they have no capacity to understand what points the intention, dynamics, fluctuation, what happens. They only know how to calculate rigidity, mass.
Right. But they have to figure out, the ultimate goal is to have Arup make sure that they're always hiring somebody coming out for that whole department within Arup, which is about rethinking engineering
And
for
they
their
have
own
nothing.
good. No, they
they have
yet.
nothing.
Yet.
Yeah, well, if I'm trying to get this new engineering program started, which, you know how exploratory engineers are, you know, in general. I mean, this guidance, the commissioner of the CDC, literally.
Who are you meeting at Tandon? You trying to do it at Tandon? Molly?
No, it should be a, maybe it's actually with your guy here, between the complex systems engineering master's degree at Columbia and maybe we get your business going.
Well, one of his best friends is number 2 at
Development. That's amazing.
and they both were
And what's he come over?
Well, they both
How
in
do you mean?
Encyclopedia of Disaster Management.
So Rockefeller has the 100 resilient cities.
You need to meet Matt.
Matt is
It's
the.
Matt Statler. He's the one from Stern, and his good friend Brad Penwell.
And he's the
and he runs
Let's go and grab our coffee. Are we?
I just have a
I'm
question
sorry.
for you.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
absolutely.
no. I'm taking this class right now, pause.
You're the
Should
art
be-
student,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's,
It's actually awesome, and I would love to be teaching a program eventually, but I want to find
Can you tell
properly.
us? I have a,
Unity, right?
yeah.
Yeah. What the is in the hospital.
Yes,
Well,
because I'm going
that's
through
nice.
something and I can consider
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's actually for my
In the
mom.
library and maybe if I
Which
could
is-
hear them.
So I would be urban
I was
science.
thinking to, I have some,
And then this class actually can be
Go
urban
about the
science, and then
I3
turn it into
first.
student
it
influence.
was great, the shaping and then two in the
And then I'm gonna write about it's kind of a combination of street art
Less than an hour to
regulations
go
and
there.
then
How was the
public
meeting?
art regulations.
really good, really nice guy. I need to say this and
Contact.
this, and also he was like really,
And the regulations.
Emma.
Have a job?
Hmm?
Can you give you a job?
I talked to him and at the end that, well, he gave me a lot of information like how to continue the research. I will tell you later the Autodesk and some ideas. And he told me that maybe I can publish my project in some magazines. And no, he was really nice. And then I talked to him, maybe I'm looking at it in the future to collaborate or because to juggle what I'm doing with
1% for art. This is civic policy.
And he said, and I said maybe I didn't want it to press him a lot. So maybe for the summer something like this. And he said that he's going to think about this.
Let me send him a follow-up note.
But
Send me his email to remind me
You can
and
look
send him
at
a
it
follow-up note
all
because I don't want him to think like he can't
It's
employ
actually.
you because you're working for me.
no, but
So I'll
I
tell him
said
that-
I said that I'm studying with you. I'm not saying I didn't say that.
What it means.
I said that I'm like as a research scholar, as a primary research scholar with Natalie, and I explained more or less what we have been doing, more or less what we were talking the day before. And no, but the thing was that he was like really close. He was really nice.
Basically.
And also I
You
saw
want to refer?
no, I mean he was like really. It was really easy to talk to him now.
Yeah, he's lovely.
And then I saw Chris again.
Yes.
Yes,
He's
because
lovely.
they are sharing
Yes,
space.
great.
Hmm.
And how was he?
Fine.
Is he doing some fun projects? Did he show you, update you?
Mm,
Like with a residence program.
Can you
I
tell
also
me?
saw him in the lectures. You remember the lectures?
Oh, yeah, how were they?
I have the lectures.
Are they good?
The lectures that you mean at Cooper Uni. I have everything on the lectures.
Good.
Really good.
Bigger opportunities.
It was really interesting.
And secondly, the grasshopper stuff. What was the
Yes.
end with that? Can he do a model
She's
for us,
running
your
into-
friend?
Not at all. I sent you something.
In Skype?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just, they are held accountable.
But I sent you an email with the. No. I sent you an email. Examples and ideas